talk. Check out my style. I fall from a lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe. Me and you just cruising through the town lately. Ask you some questions, girl, do you mind? What will it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole theme. Check out my style. I fall from a lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe. Me and you just cruising through the town lately. Ask you some questions, girl, do you mind? What will it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole theme. No, I ain't giving up. I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Whoa, we on the phone getting spiritual. Then I remix the flow, getting in the check out my style. I fall from my lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe. Me and you just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. Check out my style. I fall from my lane, girl. Just watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe. Me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. Check out my style. I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe. Me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. No, I ain't giving up. No, I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Hey, we on the phone getting spiritual. And I remix the flow, getting in the air. Check out my style. I'm far from a lane, girl, just watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, can get around in my coupe. Me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make it mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. No, I ain't giving up. Hey, I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Whoa, we on the phone getting spiritual. And then I remix the flow, getting in the air.
But the real answer to your question is that when it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
Jumped off the porch into the water to swim with the sharks. Teeth so sharp, one smell of blood, rip you apart. Got the dog in me, all bite, no bark. One smell of blood, rip you apart. Got the dog in me, all bite, no bark. One smell of blood, rip you apart. Jumped off the porch into the water to swim with the sharks. Teeth so sharp, one smell of blood, rip you apart. Got the dog in me, all bite, no bark. One smell of blood, rip you apart. Got the dog in me, all bite, no bark. One smell of blood, rip you apart.
Come to the deep end, yeah, where's dark? G-lock like a pit, but a wound like a shark. Black tips on the 5-7 looking like darts. We are not the same, you can tell us apart. Let me slow the flow down, come on, let's walk. Change the whole game, let's talk. Look at it now, then look at the start. Look at me now, so why would you start? Swing on me over bars, I slide on them, but this ain't a walk in the park. Catch him ride shotgun in his will, I bet you I'm sawing it off. Nigga, I'm an Israelite and a gangster, so do not compare me to y'all. You can lose an ear over one to mine, compare me to Peter, that's all. The smaller you are, the farther you thrown. The bigger you are, the harder you fall. Listen for what? You ain't accomplished what you telling me to do. These niggas is off. I keep the commandments, you calling the law. It's written in stone, the hands of God. The 3, 5, 7, hold 9, and I'm still beating the
Jumped
odds.
off the porch into the water to swim with the sharks. Teeth so sharp, one smell of blood, rip you apart. Got the dog in me, all bite, no bark. One smell of blood, rip you apart. Got the dog in me, all bite, no.
We still here, still standing. UPK, we never left the building. Commanding General Hachaanakah, you know. Whoa, check it out. Woe into America. Seize everything and bring these crackers to their knees. I need everything and I do mean everything. I know they don't like us, go ahead and try us. Don't make me call upon the Lord and put this earth on fire. I'm only getting better and I'm only getting higher. And you are getting weaker, that's why you cannot beat us. I know you do not like us, we don't like you neither. You went against the grain, you should be ashamed. You went against a king, let's just call it treason. Can't wait for killing season, all that shit that you be preaching. Let me see if you believe it. They say they can't be touched, well I'm about to put my hands on them. No more missing nights, guy, I gave that spirit up. Lord, give me strength so I can tear this city up. Babylon is falling, but it's just not fast enough. Angels with a nigga, so you niggas cannot touch. Ooh,
this shit not adding up, fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Yeah, said I pray that you understand. I said I pray that you understand. This shit not adding up, fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Said I pray that you understand. Hey, I said I pray that you understand.
They want me to bite my tongue, they don't like criticism. Can't sell presses the devil, YouTube restricted niggas. But they can post bitches twerking, police killing niggas. You can rap about catching bodies, the millions listen. Bitches rap about they box, and children listen. You say you black and gay, to them you still a nigga. You chasing Susie and Becky, they Emmett Tiller niggas. You got the ones that compromised, and you got field niggas. It's a real difference, it make me feel different. When I kick on my boots, tie up a meat tree, I know what we teaching that camp, nobody teaching. These devils telling lies without blinking. They ain't got the integrity, try to reach them. They say they conscious and they woke, but they sleepy. I ain't sparing nobody, I'm going in. It's a rap when I hop up on that podium.
This shit not adding up, fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Yeah, said I pray that you understand. I said I pray that you understand. This shit not adding up, fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Said I pray that you understand. Hey, I said I pray that you understand.
Welcome to the serve the Lord in the priests and prophets in the fight for Christ in the go to war for the straight soldiers in the go to ground for the all my brothers in the become a man in the follow orders in the gonna die for the gonna live for the change my life in the real niggas in the spread the truth in the stay flammable in the Isupk The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Since 1969, we've been spreading the truth that blacks and Hispanics are the real Jews of the Bible. We are under Commander General Hachaanakah. It's a
Yo, man, we everywhere, man. We all over the globe. My homies here. With my homies, them niggas is right there. Every day you pair of black boots, sometimes you switch it at night.
Shalom, Yavshavak Thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Thumb by Shem Yahushai to the sisters. This is the Feast of Dedication. It's a memorial for us to, of course, remember what it is that our forefathers went through during the time of the Maccabees, during the time that the Greeks invaded our lands and tried to force us from leaving our culture behind, just as America has today. We're going to be starting in the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 1. We got a couple chapters to get through. And an important thing to remember is not only, of course, what it is that we went through, but how it is that what the brothers and sisters were going through back then under the Greeks, it's the same thing we're going through today under America. Because America, the same people that ran the Greek Empire, the same ones run America. No matter, you understand, like our people want to think just because the times have changed that all of a sudden the nation of Edom or our oppressor is going to love us and no longer be an animal to our people. But we'll see that even during the time of the Greeks and the Romans, like they were absolute animals to the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean,
I didn't know what platform it was on.
Oh, no, it's not on
Okay.
TikTok. Obviously, you got this talking about.
They can't see that.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Have some fix it when you get done.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
And if I could, this is Alexander the Greek.
Mm-hmm.
I know people mistake him for Alexander the Great, but there was nothing great about this Edomite. You understand? He was just a normal murdering, raping, pillaging, robbing Edomite.
Right.
You understand? And his father was Philip of Macedonia. That's what we just clearly just read. I know a lot of people like to, for some odd reason, why is every goddamn Edomite the son of some god, the son of Zeus, the son of whoever, the son of Hercules, the son of Thor, the son of somebody. You get what I'm saying? Odin.
Right.
No, he's just a regular damn devil. But I'll tell you the funny part. The reason they start to use this history is because, like I'll make it very simple. What is white culture? What is white history? All of white culture and all of white history has been stolen from another nation. So that's where these stories come from.
Tilt it that way.
These stories are stolen stories.
That's Torah.
You understand?
Torah.
When you hear of an oppressor being born from a God, they're talking about Christ. They're trying to mimic the story of Christ, even though Christ had a father who was David. You understand?
Right.
Let's get some more.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. It's 2. And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
That is definitely an oppressor spirit right there.
Right. Verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch.
Hey, listen, even if you didn't tell you who this was, you could guess it was Esau.
Right.
Just from the stealing. That's what gives it away. Salaki, go ahead, please.
Insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And Slaggy, like, just imagine how much destruction you had to do to the nations and to this earth for nobody to want to rise up against you.
Right.
For nobody to want to form an army in order to defend their people and their lands. Like, our oppressor, like Officer Isaiah said, our oppressor paints this devil as if he is somebody that is great in this earth, when really all he was great at is slaughtering, is stealing and lying and doing everything it is that oppressors do.
Right.
Verse 4, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And that's exactly how the ancient Greek empire got so rich, is because of how many nations it is that they conquered. Like, all these nations given like gold and silver to the Greeks, of course, has made them filthy rich. And as we'll come to find out, the generals of Alexander the Greek continued to steal everything from the earth.
Right. And here's another trick that the oppressor has always done. They will marry into the other nations,
right,
to accumulate power. You see it even and this is a tradition of Esau that has trickled down even to today, because when you see interracial marriages, when you see interracial marriages, whether it be a white man marrying someone out of another nation or a white woman marrying someone out of another nation, they're marrying for resources, for money, for all these things. And all of that money and resources and all of them things go right back to the other nation, go right back to their nation, should I say. But, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you'll never see that on our end. You'll never see us marry and be like, well, now that I'm married, I'm going to take these same resources and give them back to my nation. It only happens the other way around. And this is what Alexander the Greek and his lieutenants were doing. Alexander the Greek, he married into, he had multiple wives. And we already know that he didn't care for women. We know the story of Alexander the Greek. He was a philosopher and a boy lover. You understand? That's what he liked. That's what he was into. He was part of the LGBT community. So his marrying wasn't marrying to reproduce. He had no kids. Why didn't he have kids? That would be the first thing you would want to do as a king, is to secure your bloodline, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have any kids because he wasn't turned on by women. You understand? Even though he had multiple wives. Keep going, please.
I say, and Slacky, just to add on in case, because, blacks and Hispanics love to think that the Greeks were just the most masculine men in this earth. Like, when you think of the Spartans, you think of nothing but masculinity, nothing but warriors that got all the women, when in reality, like, the Spartans were notorious for being homosexuals.
Right.
Like, when they went to go get married to their wives, they would cut their hair to be like a man's. They would throw on that man's toga, and they would sneak in through their window in order to have sex with their woman. And it was all to simulate, like, sneaking behind everybody's back to go lay with another man.
Right.
Like,
being secretive LGBTQ.
Like, that's the whole reason for them to have that entire what the hell is that called? Tradition, the entire tradition for their marriages.
And if I could, and in the Roman culture was actually what's the word I'm looking for? It was actually they wanted you to be a homosexual. Yes, it was forced. It was pushed on them because they felt that made the bond stronger between warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted you to be a homosexual. They wanted you to sleep with other men, and not just one man, but it's the whole damn army. Like they felt that made the bond stronger, which is I guess we would have to ask somebody from the LGBT community if that's real, because doesn't sounds like an excuse to roll around in an orgy ball to me. But yeah, who am I? I don't know. Go ahead, Priest Select.
5. And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
And that's funny because cooties was around back then, because that's what he caught. Cooties from his lifestyle.
Verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
And he had to do that. And he had to do that because he had no heirs. So he had nobody to rule the kingdom in his name and in his bloodline. So he had to divide it between his most trustworthy oppressors.
7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. 8. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
So they all had land and territory. He divided it up amongst them. After he died, they ruled for a little bit, and everybody became a king. Everybody wanted to proclaim themselves a king.
So did their sons after them many years.
So they passed down that same tradition to their families. Keep going.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Say that again.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Listen, man, that's how you know that this Bible is the absolute truth. The scriptures say the earth will mourn when the wicked is in rulership. That's all we've ever seen from our time here on this planet, man. Because since we've been around, the oppressor has been in rulership and evils have been multiplied. There was just a mass shooting in, where was that at, Vegas? In University of Las Vegas, a mass shooting in the University of Las Vegas. And I don't have to tell you who did it. I don't have to tell you why they did it. You understand? We know when we hear mass shooting, we know what nation of people this is.
Right.
We know what nation of people this is. You understand? Lord be with any black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, or child that was caught up in that mess of their oppressor being a goddamn devil, man. But this is what happens, man. Evils are multiplied when the oppressor is in rulership and they have power. Keep going.
Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying,
If I could, this is your Christian pastors in today's turn. Keep going.
Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. 12. So this device pleased them well. 13. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen. 15. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. in Slovakia, and you may be wondering how is it that you can make yourself uncircumcised just by going out and playing games, because that's what they were doing. Slovakia, in verse 14, when it says, whereupon they built a place of exercise. But what we don't understand is the culture of the Greeks that comes with like the Olympic Games,
Right.
and comes with being
NBA, NFL.
a star in the sports game.
Right.
Like during the time of the Greeks, like for instance, wrestling, like the men had to wrestle one another nude. Like when they threw, what's that called, the disc, they had to do that nude. Like everything it is that they did,
To say everything,
they had
booty
to
naked.
they had to expose their nakedness, which goes against the culture of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And not only that, but they had to serve whatever god was over the specific sport that they sought to master, which of course caused for us to turn away from our God, caused for us to make compromises on different parts of the law until eventually we fully become Greek, fully become American, and leave behind our culture and our lifestyle, which leads to destruction.
Right.
And if you don't believe us, just look at the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. Just look at the condition of our people. And that's because we've abandoned our culture and our history and have adopted the ways of another nation.
Right.
Slaki. 16. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms. And Salakia, like our oppressor is so power hungry that he couldn't be happy with just one dominion. With 1/4 of the empire that Alexander the Greek had carved out into this earth, he had to go and try to take from his brother, from one of the other trusted generals of Alexander, so that he could further his riches and his strength and further his oppression of the earth. Right. And furthermore, acquire more Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right. And you see it now today in the midst of World War III.
Right. 17. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen and a great navy.
Right. Which of none of that is the oppressor's military tactics. This is all military tactics that he learned from war with other nations. One thing that you got to understand about the oppressor, if you beat him one way, he's going to steal that way and use it against you immediately. So that's where the war elephants and things like that come from.
18. Made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt, but Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. 19. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. 20. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. And that just goes to show how our oppressor will go out of his way to oppress our people. Like, he was just in Egypt, he conquered the lands, took all the riches, and left. And then he came back in order to conquer the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And just know that this spirit that this Greek Edomite had on him, like, it's the same spirit America has. That's why they will always seek to rob Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians of whatever wealth it is that we can acquire under this oppression, under this captivity. That's why it is that they will always go into our neighborhoods and further destroy us as a nation and leave our bodies laying lifeless in the streets.
Right.
21. And entered proudly into the sanctuary, Salakia, and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof. And this devil was so proud. And not only did he come into our lands, but he came into our schools. And he took all the things that made our school look so beautiful. All the things that when you see it, you think, oh, that belongs to the Israelites. Oh, that's the culture of the Israelites. All the things, beautiful ornaments that you see on our teacher's desk right here. These heathens came in and took all of it and defiled what was holy unto the Lord.
Right.
22. And the table of the showbread and the pouring vessels and the vials and the censers of gold and the veil and the crowns and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. So not only did he come in and pull the gold off of our walls, like if we had any tables that had gold on it, he would take that off, but he was wanted what it is that we had so bad that he carried the table out of our schools. You understand? In order to further his riches. 23, he took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also, he took the hidden treasures which he found. And a good representation of this, what is that called? Let me look it up real quick. I say the Roman Titus, he had basically a monument erected and carved of when they plundered Jerusalem and all the goods it is they took out of our city. It's a good, gives you a good visualization of what the Greeks did to us. One second. What is that called? Slovakia. The Ark of Titus. That's what it is. And on that, it has the Romans carrying away our menorah, which of course is made out of gold. It's a huge menorah. It was about 4 or 5 feet tall, carrying away all the gold and the jewels out of Jerusalem after they had just got done putting us through absolute hell. You understand? The Greeks did the exact same thing. 24. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. 25. Therefore, there was great mourning in Israel in every place where they were. 26. And that's a very natural thing to do when your people have just been destroyed, have just been unalived, is to mourn for your nation. But because we've been in America for so long and have, I don't want to say normalized, we haven't normalized our oppression, but it's something that's become, just the way of life for our people.
If I could, it's definitely normalized. Like you see black people suffering and you feel absolutely nothing. Like you see black people suffering, you see black people dying, you see Hispanic people suffering, you see Hispanic people dying, you see Native Indians suffering, you see Native Indians dying, and you feel absolutely nothing. But here we are watching Israel and Hamas go at it, and it's hashtag stop the war, hashtag all lives matter, hashtag this, hashtag that. You understand? Like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians dying, nah. You understand? Anybody else that suffers, it's a problem. The proof is in the pudding. That's why there's so many laws to protect any and everybody else but Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. There are no laws to protect you. Go ahead, priest. Salakia. It is definitely normalized. It's in all the movies. It's in all the music. It's in all the TV shows. It's normal.
And it's that's what I was saying, not by our people.
Right.
Of course, our oppressor, he'll normalize it, but like it's just something that we've accepted as, you know, a everyday occurrence, the destruction of our people, and like you said, nobody gives a damn about it, including us.
Right.
When in reality, we should be mourning at the state of our nation. 26. So that the princes and elders mourned their virgins, and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed.
Man, that's a heavy scripture. Bring that back.
Verse 26. So that the princes and elders mourned,
Mm-hmm.
the virgins and young men were made feeble,
The virgins and young men were made feeble. Keep going.
and the beauty of women was changed.
And the beauty of women was changed. Does anybody know what that means? No sweat. The beauty of women changed. Oh, go ahead, Shania. Go ahead.
26. So that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble,
Mm-hmm.
and the beauty of women was changed.
Go ahead.
That's the equivalent of today's generation. You feel me? The men are made feeble. We told to stop being too masculine, or that women aren't masculine enough. The beauty of women are changed because look at the standards of today. Now the beauty of women that used to be something pure back then is now, you know, shown off through being a whore on social media, you know, showing off all your body parts and, you know, being the most vile and wicked thing the Christian church could want you to be.
You're right on it. And not only that, but also when you look at these shows, Whores and Hip Hop, Slut Buckets of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Basketball hoes. When you look at these shows, right? Who are them women imitating? Who do they dress like? Who do they want to look like? When you look at their hair, go ahead. They want to look like the white woman. You see a chick that's darker than me with blonde hair, blonde straight hair. They got rid of the afro. The afro's ugly. You get what I'm saying? Afros is ugly. You get what I'm saying? You see more white women in them show rocking braids than you see the sisters. You get what I'm saying? Like the beauty has changed. You understand? They think that looking like an oppressor is beautiful. To the way that they do their hair, to the way that they do their nails, to the clothes they wear. You understand? Because we clearly know in these scriptures that dressing like a whore was not Israelite customs. Having your boobs out, having your booty out, that was not Israelite custom. That was the heathen custom. The beauty of women has changed. Now, the beauty of women is for women to dress like a goddamn heathen and look like a whore. So somehow that's beautiful. You see a half-naked woman on Facebook, and every nigga in the DM is calling her a queen, calling her beautiful. Hey, pretty. Hey, sexy. They see a chick fully clothed, they're like, ugh. What's wrong with her? This bitch got self-respect. I can't get jiggy with this. You know what I'm saying? Keep it pushing. Motherfucker, go ahead, priest.
27. It's like also, if anybody wants to eat, you can go ahead and, start giving out the food.
Damn right.
27. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. 28. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. 29.
That was a heavy point right there. And let me tell you something. That confusion is still to this day. All blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are confused. We don't know who the hell we are, what the hell we're doing. Go ahead, priest.
29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. 30. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel.
Never trust thy enemy.
Right. I say in Salagi, this was what, over 2,000 years ago,
Right.
when this happened. Like just to show our people, like, no matter how many years pass, our oppressor is never going to change. Like, the scriptures let us know that he has had a perpetual hatred for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, meaning that it's never going to go away. Like, he's going to hate our people until we come to rule over him and force him into subjection under us and under our God. Like, that's the only way that we can, stop the oppression it is this animal has been doing to us for the past 400 years. And, of course, longer than that, because we see what the Greeks were doing to us. We seen what the Romans were doing to us. 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. 32. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. 33. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. So after they stole everything out of our cities, out of our communities, stole our wives and daughters, burned down our homes, they came into our holy city and built themselves a stronghold.
Right.
Like, took over what would be considered like the downtown and forced us on the outskirts of the city. The same thing it is that they do in America.
Yep, that's what I was just about to say.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what I was just about to say. You see it today. Gentrification in the ghettos. Listen, if they say the ghettos is the most dangerous place on the earth, if that's the case, then why do all these oppressors move to the ghetto? If the ghetto is so dangerous, right, why do all these oppressors keep moving there? Why are they buying up all the property, all the land? Let me tell you something. The oppressor is safe anywhere blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are at. They're safe. You want me to tell you how I know they're safe? Because they move in our neighborhoods.
Right.
You wouldn't move in a neighborhood that's not safe for you. That doesn't make any sense. We know the oppressor is all about safety. So that should tell you something. Black people, you're not safe in your own goddamn ghettos, and you're not safe anywhere the oppressor is at. But the oppressor is safe in the ghettos. He's safe in his gated communities. He's safe wherever the hell he goes. Sad, really. Really sad. Go ahead, priest.
34. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men. And we all already know that's the Moabites or Chinese they put into our neighborhood, the Arabs, the Africans, oppressors, all the heathen nations that will come in and take advantage of our people, not only financially, but just look at the abuse that these nations have done to our people. You look at how they body slam and punch out sisters in the hair salons, or the where they sell the weave at, or in the nail salons. How it is that they'll take young sisters in the back of their chicken joints and abuse them, and how it is that, of course, our oppressor will accuse us of stealing and gun us down. Like, these nations have shown us that they have nothing but hatred for us.
Right.
Like, there is no joining together with them.
If I could, just real quick, a quick story here in this city. There's a heathen chicken spot off of 42nd and Post that they shut down because they were just so disgusting in the way that they was keeping the food. They had the chicken on the goddamn floor walking around barefooted.
That's not where you was taking us, was it?
Hell no.
Okay, all right.
Hell no. God, I blew that thing up myself. We don't condone violence, man.
same
I
question.
wish they would have. Hey, listen, I never ate there ever. I could look at it and tell that wasn't the spot.
I said we're gonna be in council. That's
Hey,
where you
right?
took us.
Nah, hell no.
Even though you didn't know, we're gonna be in council.
Listen, I wouldn't
so
even have brought the story up. You
Right.
hear me?
Take that to your grave.
Right, straight up though. But like that goes to show you how much they care about black people. You you gonna buy the food anyway, shut down for a little bit and reopen back up.
Right.
Ain't that about a bitch?
Under new management.
Under new management. His cousin owns it now. He sold it to his cousin. Yeah, I know. They opened up right now. And then the other ones a little bit farther down, they did just jack their prices up so much. Only thing cheap in there is cigarettes and blunts. You need food products, it's through the roof. You need a gallon of milk, $10. You need a loaf of bread, $5. You need anything that you need to sustain your life, it's going to be through the roof. But you can get blunts $5 for $1 there. You can get Lucy cigarettes. The same thing that Eric Garner got choked out for, selling Lucy cigarettes. I ain't never seen a heathen murdered for selling Lucy cigarettes, and we know they do it.
Right.
We know they do it. I can take you to 10 spots right now, here, right across from our school, that sell Lucy cigarettes. Police will tell them, hey, just don't do it. But you, black man, they'll choke out. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes this scripture so heavy, man. Keep going, priest.
And fortify themselves therein. It's like not only does it show us how the other nations will oppress us, but like this is also how our oppressor gets us to be dependent on him. Like you bring the nations in that provide everything for us while giving us no businesses, no way to sustain our own communities. Like this is how you keep a people from rebelling, because when someone is able to provide for themselves, able to get their own food, own water, medicines, clothes, whatever necessity it is that's needed, a people will be willing to rebel. Like that's why the Palestinians were so ready to fight against the Israelis, because they were able to provide for themselves. They might have been in a real tough situation all around, but at the end of the day, they had their own resources and own supplies, which is why they weren't afraid to fight back against the Israelis. So, 35. They stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there.
And if I could, this is so heavy because even to this day, you see the same progress, man. Only thing they're ever going to do is steal from blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. These heathen nations, they're going to take the spoils. Right now, when you look into the process of gentrification, right? What are they doing? They're taking the spoils of what they consider war, of what they consider resources. You understand? Because believe it or not, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, the ghetto is a resource.
Right.
We have made the ghetto, what's the term black people used to use all the time? Ghetto fabulous. Ghetto fabulous. That's what we have made the ghetto. We have made the ghetto fabulous, right? We have taken it and we have made it convenient. Like, and why is it convenient? Because they put us in the ghettos to oppress us, but at the same time, they put all the heathen nations around us to set up shops and make money off of us, right? So now that same product and them same resources the oppressor wants now. So now, in order to get these products and these resources and these buildings and all of this stuff, first he has to evict the people that's there. Who's there? You, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child, you're there. Now they got to get rid of you. And now that old shop that got shut down, it used to be the mom and pop store, guess what that is now? Now that's a smoothie spot. You understand? What we read in these scriptures is so heavy because the same thing that was going on then is going on now. The same oppression that black people were suffering then, black people are suffering now. Keep breaking it down, priest.
And so they became a sore snare. 36. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary.
Right.
and an evil adversary to Israel.
That's just think about that. It's the same way you think about you on your way home from work and you see a cop just posted up in the ghetto, just waiting to catch you. Just cops don't even look for real crimes. If they need to meet quota, we know where they go. They go to the ghetto, and we know this because if you travel outside to what we call white neighborhoods, right? I usually call it something else. I'm not going to say it for the sake of the camera, but you travel outside of the ghetto, right? You don't see police. You don't see speed traps. You don't see them things. You don't see bait cars. You don't see any of that. Read that scripture again.
36. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary.
It was a sore snare and a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary. The hood is the sanctuary. You ever listen? I don't give a damn who you are. Like where you like? How many times have we been out and about? We like, man, I can't wait to get back to the hood. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You have been out somewhere dealing with some type of oppressor, and the first thing you say is you can't wait to get back to the hood. You can't wait to get back to the ghetto. You can't wait to get back to the barrio, the reservation. You feel safe, even though it's nothing there, even though you have absolutely nothing, the resources are minimum, you feel safe there. Why do you feel safe there? Because your people are there. What makes it not safe? Any outsider coming in, doing harm to your people. That's what's going on in the black community. We all know that the black community is over-policed. Over-policed. No resources put into the black community and over-policed. That's what the scripture is going into. Keep going, priest.
And an evil adversary to Israel.
We know that the police ain't there for your protection, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. We know that. We know that when you get pulled over, he's going to snatch you out the car illegally, by the way, and say he's going to place you in cuffs for his protection. And then he's going to ask you stuff to make it seem like you got a choice. He's going to say, do you mind if I search your car? Do you have a problem with me searching your car? Well, if you don't have anything to hide, what's the problem? He's going to say stuff like this. That's what adversaries say. Adversaries say stuff to make you look like you're the problem. To make it look like you're the reason the bad things is happening to you when it's them. Keep going, priest. I'm just recording it so you can send me the video and you can edit it.
Okay, come. 37.
I ain't that stupid. Sit out of work you just did, shut down that fast.
Right. First word out your mouth, white man.
Yeah, you're right. Said the devil. Wait, what? No.
Right.
You just talked about this.
Right.
Go ahead, priest.
37. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary.
They do what kind? They shed what kind of blood?
Innocent blood.
What kind of blood?
Innocent blood.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Nobody has more blood on their hands than the goddamn oppressor. We just brought out earlier how there was a mass shooting in Las Vegas. I don't know all the details, but I can almost promise you this: unless this oppressor unalives himself, he's gonna get taken alive. They're going to find a way to take him alive. They find a way to take mass school shooters alive, but they have not figured out a way to take unarmed, innocent Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, women, and children alive yet. This somehow is an anomaly. They have not figured out a way to do it. Go ahead, priest.
I don't know if brothers just seen the video, but there was a video that was rolling around on the internet of this white woman who ran up in the police station and shot at the police officers behind the glass.
Yeah, through the bulletproof glass.
All to get their attention.
Yep, and they took her alive.
So they swarmed her and took her alive.
Waited for her to. They was waiting. They was looking. Dude went to go get more police officers to make sure they could take her alive.
Right.
They love them. They love their people. They love their people. This is why we need to love our people. This is why the Isupk under Commander Junior Hana is so important. And why a high holy day like today is so important. The Feast of Dedication. Keep going, please.
On every side of the sanctuary and defiled it.
On every side of the ghetto and defiled it. Innocent black men die. Innocent black women die. Innocent Hispanics die. Innocent Native Indians die. All the goddamn time. Our ghettos are our sanctuaries. Our barrios are our sanctuaries. Our reservations are our sanctuaries. And we die in our own sanctuaries. Nowhere is safe for you, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. This is why it's so important to serve the Most High. Keep going, priest.
38. And so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them.
Right.
Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers.
And this is the funny part. I look at that like I look at this, man. Like this. Like when black people get rich, the first thing that they want to do is leave the ghetto. Why? Because they think that leaving the ghetto is safe. Like the problem is not racism, apparently. The problem is not oppression. The problem is I'm in the ghetto. But let me tell you something. What changes once you leave the ghetto? I remember when LeBron James went to LA, right? When he first moved to LA. Now, I don't have to tell you who LeBron James is. Everybody in the world knows who LeBron James is. He is the best black entertainer that there is to have. He, the oppressor has pushed him for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to see to be the role model of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But let me tell you something. He's richer than most ordinary white people. He's richer than most ordinary Muslim people, African people. He's richer than a lot of people on the face of this planet. He's damn near a billionaire. Damn near a billionaire. But let me tell you something. He moved to California in a nice, well-to-do neighborhood thinking it was safe. And the first thing they did was spray paint his gate and let him know exactly how they feel. They sent death threats to him by spray painting his gate and called him a nigger. All on his gate. You know how big that nigga gate is? I mean, they took the time to measure it out to make sure the word nigga went the whole length of the gate. He got like a 10-car garage, and they spray painted the N-word across the whole goddamn garage. Right. In one word. It wasn't like it was multiple words. So that means that he had like 3 feet. He had a 3-foot N, right? A 3-foot I. You get what I'm saying? Like, that let you know how they really feel about you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. This is how they really feel. Keep breaking it down, priest.
And became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her.
I'm right.
I'm going to skip down to verse 41. Book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. 42. And every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
And we see this to this day. This is still going on to this day. Shalom, Lord Christ. Cap, you want the class?
Shalom, Christ, Cap.
I'm going to go pick up some waters, and I can be up there in a minute.
Come.
Okay.
Shalom, everybody.
Lord Christ. Keep going, priest.
44. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
And let me tell you something. Even to this day, this is your Christian pastor. Your Christian pastor don't care about following the Bible. He wants you to follow what America says to do. That's why he says it's okay for you to eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, even though the Bible is clearly against it. This is why he says that being an LGBT, living in the LGBT community is an alternative lifestyle, and it's okay. Because America allows you to do it. He tells you that God loves you no matter what the hell you do, when clearly that is not what the Bible says. You understand? So them same people that he's breaking down in these scriptures now exist to this day. It's the Christian church. It's the Muslim mosque. It's all of these wicked places that are not doing anything for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They don't give a damn about the suffering of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. As long as they can make $1 and a profit off of you. That's your value to them. Whatever you can bring in for us income and resources, that's your value. Keep going, please.
45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
Yep, that's how you ended up going to church on Sundays. That's exactly how it happened.
46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
Keep going, please.
47. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
Ooh, does that sound right there? If that ain't your Christian church, tell me what is. You understand? You don't know nothing about eating according to the scriptures, according to the Christian church. You eat according to what the hell you like. You like pork chops? You can eat it in the Christian church. You like catfish? You can have all you want in the Christian church. You like crab and lobster? Go to the 38th Street Baptist Church. You can have that. You understand? Keep going, priest.
Slovakia. Verse 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanity.
In today's term, that would be not teaching your kids the law, statutes, and commandments and teaching them everything about these pagan holidays. Don't teach them about the high holy days, but teach them about Christmas. Right. That's how you leave your kids uncircumcised and teach them all manner of profaneness and wickedness. That's exactly what we're dealing with in today's world. A kid cannot tell you about the Feast of Dedication. He can tell you about his birthday and Easter and everything else. He can tell you about anything that has to do with the Christian church and the wickedness of the Christian church. He could tell you that he could tell you about pronouns, that boys are no longer considered boys and girls are no longer considered girls. He could tell you about that, but he can't tell you anything about these scriptures because he's uncircumcised. Not teaching your kids the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, that's uncircumcising your kids in today's term. You understand? That's teaching them to be wicked. You allowing your kids to live and follow the LGBT community and follow the Christian church, you don't love your kids. Flat out. You do not love your kids. And another thing, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child watching online, go to isupk.com immediately and pay your goddamn tithes to the ISUPK, man. Because Commander Junior Hachaanakah, what he has done is no other black man on the face of this planet is able to do, man. He has showed blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the way to raise up a family, to raise up their people, to raise up their nation, to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, to know what the Feast of Dedication is, to know what high holy days are, to know what to do in a time of turmoil, in a time of oppression, in a time of pain and suffering, man. No, you will never learn that from your Christian church because your Christian church don't give a damn about you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Keep breaking down the scripture.
49.
Go ahead.
You bring it out so heavy because, you know what I'm saying? Like you said that our children don't know about the Feast of Dedication. You know what I'm saying? But they know about every pagan holiday.
Right.
Which is making them unalive every goddamn day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
And that's the thing. Knowing these the Lord's high holy days, you might prolong your life.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that time with Chicago. Y'all remember that Chicago that mass shooting in Chicago? That oppressor that was sniping through a church bell or something like that. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago. And over what 200 people
was
unalive.
When was that?
This was last year.
Damn.
Yeah, 4th of July.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's funny because
I remember now.
Yeah,
I was just bringing out the mass shooting that happened in Vegas.
Oh, what this recently?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Today.
God damn, boy. Hey, we are the news, man.
You know what I'm
Black
saying?
Watch, you know what I'm saying?
Like a mass shooting just happened in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to tell you who did it and why. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to tell you who did it. You hear mass shooting, you already know who did the crime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not rocket science. Keep going, Priest.
49. To the end, they